what UAPs are, no matter what they are. However, we now have existing and former U.S. government officials who have told Congress that AARO and the Pentagon have broken the law by not revealing a significant body of information about UAPs, including military intelligence databases that have evidence of their existence as physical craft. One of those individuals is a current or former U.S. government official acting as a UAP whistleblower. This person has written a report. This is the report that says the executive branch has been managing UAP, NHI issues without congressional knowledge, oversight, or authorization for some time, quite possibly decades. Furthermore, these individuals have revealed the name of an active and highly secretive DoD unacknowledged special access program, or USAP. The source of that document told me, that the USAP is a strategic intelligence program that is part of the U.S. military family of long-standing, highly sensitive programs dealing with various aspects of the UAP problem. The new UAP whistleblower claims that the U.S. military and IC database includes videos and images taken using infrared, forward-looking infrared, full-motion video, and still photography. The report that was just shared with Congress says Immaculate Constellation serves as a central or parent USAP that consolidates observations of UAPs by both tasked and untasked collection platforms. Immaculate Constellation includes high-quality imagery intelligence and measurement and signature intelligence of UAPs, the whistleblower's report adds. The sources of this intelligence are a blend of directed and incidental collection capabilities, positioned in low Earth orbit, the upper atmosphere, as well as military and civilian aviation altitudes and
them boys talking smart.
The report to Congress details in detail various UAPs, including spheres, orbs, disks, saucers, ovals, triangles, boomerang, arrowhead, and irregular organic. The report describes various incidents found in the human intelligence databases. One involved orbs surrounding and forcing an F-22 out of its patrol area. In another incident, the crew of a Navy aircraft carrier watched a small orange-red sphere rapidly descend from a high altitude of 100 to 200 yards directly above the flight deck of the CVN, or aircraft carrier. And since my reporting on this Immaculate Constellation last month, another source came forward who told me that they saw a roughly 13-minute long, high-definition, full-color video of a white orb UAP coming out of the ocean approximately 20 miles off the coast of Kuwait. It was filmed from a helicopter. Then halfway through the video, the person said the orb is joined by another orb that briefly comes into the frame from the left before rapidly moving again out of the frame. The person discovered the video on SIPR, the Secure Internet Protocol Router Network, which the DoD uses to transmit classified information. A leading UAP researcher who utilizes the Freedom of Information Act to find out what the government knows, John Greenwald, told me last year that the U.S. government had been increasingly denying his requests for UAP information. He has been doing FOIA requests for 27 years and has an archive of 3 million pages. The government has for decades denied any interest in UFOs, he told me, but the documents that he has assembled show that behind the scenes, it was a completely different story. Contrary to the hopes of many advocates of transparency, the government has been restricting more information since the leak of 3 UAP videos in 2017. The DoD organization AARO has been labeling many documents with a B7 exemption, which Greenwald says does not make any sense.
In the discussions, it's simply about material, or is there discussion about it was previously testified that there was biologics that were collected. Are you aware of any of that?
I am, sir, aware of the reporting that biologics have been recovered. Again, my focus...
For those that's watching, the biologics would mean humanoid or physical matter, meaning living, breathing organism. That's what the biologics mean, just to add some context for everyone.
This is more nuts and bolts. Looking at the physical aspects of these phenomenon, how they interacted around military equities and nuclear equities. So I'm certainly not a medical expert. I would not be able to probably provide you a whole lot of value in that simply because I don't have the expertise.
But was anything described as that we have possession of bodies?
Yes.
We have is it multiple types of creatures, or?
Sir, I couldn't answer that. I can tell you anecdotally that it was discussed quite a bit when I was at the Pentagon. The problem is the supposed collection of these biological samples occurred before my time, in fact, before I was even born.
And was this part of the Lockheed Martin discussion, or was this the biologics is a completely separate?
Separate yet related.
Okay. Has anyone made contact?
Sir, I'm sorry, could you specify?
Has there been any, to your knowledge, any communication with a non-human life form?
So the term communication is a bit of a trick word because there's verbal communication like we're having now. The problem is you also have nonverbal communication. And so I would say definitively yes, but from a nonverbal meaning, when a Russian reconnaissance aircraft comes into U.S. airspace, we scramble 2 F-22s, and we are certainly communicating intent and capability. I think the same goes with this. We have these things that are being observed over controlled U.S. airspace, and they're not really doing a good job hiding themselves. They're making it pretty obvious they have the ability to even interfere with our nuclear equities and our nuclear readiness.
The interest in this topic, again, is enormous. This is the line from just members of the general public, excuse us, I'm sorry, to get into this hearing. Now, Marnie, I've covered probably hundreds of congressional hearings.
Well, they want to know what, look at this.
This doesn't happen. I've only seen a line like this to get into a hearing one time, and it was last year for the UAP hearing back in July of 2023. So
what is going on?
Topic, don't need to show you, more about how much people are interested in it. Now, today, I think what we're going to see is lawmakers and the witnesses try to move the ball forward and take this topic from something that was maybe once taboo or not talked about as much, more into the mainstream
world that are our pilots are telling us these things are flying in close proximity to their aircraft. I had one tell me this thing flew 14 feet away from my canopy, and he held up his hand like that as it is to mimic where it was. So, and then we have these bureaucrats arrogantly tell us that we don't know what we're talking about, and then when we ask them about specific instances like the one you're showing right there, they look down at their papers and say, we have no information on that. So it's a completely compartmentalized, arrogant bunch, and I'm hoping President Trump fires a lot of people and puts some people in there that trust the American public with the truth.
What an era that we are in right now. The fact that we are back in the alien era. Now, this one is a little bit different from the past. I don't know if people know about the Rothschild and etc., but it was a strange era itself, and they brought in the alien era during a time when people had a lot of conspiracies about the government and the way it worked. There's a theory that the the CIA brought in propaganda about small little people, green skin, big eyes, to distract the public on something to focus on outside of their own corruption. This is interesting because I'm hoping that we're not seeing something similar to that, and we're actually getting close to the truth. The original files with Rothschilds, I think it stated they believed there were black children that was flying the UFOs, little black creatures. Neither here nor there, but they definitely heavily altered the data that was relieved in those archives. Now, what we see right now is the U.S. Congress is now admitting the life of aliens, admitting about UFOs existing, and this many years ahead, you have to ask why. Well, here's my theory. I believe that we're about to start seeing some truths that just can't be hidden. Is the main reason why we're getting this data, we're getting this information. There are things that I feel like that's going to be revealed also from my inside sources. I'm out in Nashville, Tennessee. Tim Burchett, he is actually one of the leading congressmen that is revealing the information about these UFOs. And I tell you, there's some stuff very interesting, and there's a reason why Las Vegas looks the way it does with the Egyptian theme, and Grand Canyon looks like it has pyramids, along with also having some of the most UFO sightings. There's some correlations that people are going to get some proofs to. And the reason why it's happening is because I think it's going to get to the point where people can't lie to themselves anymore about what they're seeing up in the skies. Now, not to get religious, but it did say in the end times that there would be signs in the skies. And I don't know if you guys have been looking up. It's definitely gotten a little bit different. I don't even want to go into detail on that and miss and get labeled on as a conspiracy tuber. But we definitely do see signs of things coming to truth, coming to pass. I don't know if most of the world is ready for it, but I know this. Our government doesn't give us anything until they've either done two things. Decided that they have enough control on the situation to handle any reaction from the public, or they decided they don't have control on the situation and never have control on the situation, thus having to give power to the public, hoping that the public can do something about it or give the public closure about it. It's either one of the two, and there's a good chance it could be the latter. We're seeing more exploration about space. Elon Musk is putting emphasis on space travel. We're seeing our government starting to accept going back into space. As we know, NASA started in the oceans and then it went up to space and then went into obscurity. SpaceX has rebuilt the interest in space, in my opinion. Other countries are focusing on space like never before, as if they know something is coming or as if they know we need to be moving. Either something coming or they know we need to be going. I truly do believe in a Trump presidency, and he already said this, that, I say the world is a stage. I do believe in this Trump presidency, he is going to reveal it. It was revealed that in Israel, a general was telling President Trump about the existence of aliens, and Trump was going to reveal it, but the government feared that the people weren't ready for it yet. What if that data is going to be released now? What if they feel like the human conditioning, the human mind, is ready for it? We're now seeing a reality where we'll be living in a house with robots coming to do our assistant, brushing our teeth, etc. We're seeing right now Casanat, one of the streamers, getting his teeth brushed with a robot. It ain't a stretch to think that people are now ready, mentally ready to accept an alien life or aliens coming through. It could be, it could not. We'll only see in a few months, but I truly do believe if it's any president that's going to declassify it, and the timing to be perfect, it would be Trump. He already said he's declassifying everything. So there's a great chance the government is preparing for a mass declassification. The question to the viewer is, would that change anything for your life? Because me, I still gonna have bills. Unless they gonna come down and drop some hundreds. Please like, comment, subscribe, and hit the notification bell to stay updated, and I'll keep this content coming.